All right, welcome to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast. Just here by myself today, SternBets. Excited to get back into it, getting into the swing of things, pun intended. Coming back from vacation, going to be fully back on Monday. We'll have a subscriber-only article coming out, hopefully Saturday night, and possibly later today if I get a little bit of time. I do have to get back to work, so let's just get into it. All right. I'm going to go into my home run hit sprinkle first. I like Luke Raleigh at plus 570 to hit a home run against Tatsuya Imai. Now, it's Houston and the Mariners. Mariners are the best pitching stadium in all of baseball, but they're actually sneakily good at home run hittings as well. When I look at Tatsuya Imai, I find that there might be a little bit of negative regression coming, and I think that Luke Raleigh, who has homered in 27% of his early season appearances, really kind of makes a nice match here. And if you're going to get a number close to 570, I think that this is severely underestimating him. So far, I have done well getting these longer home run odds instead of trying to get maybe the shorter, more probable home run odds here. But yeah, controlled environment. I like who he is able to be facing up against today. And I think that he has a really nice shot for a home run. Sorry if I'm not a little bit more prepared as I normally am, but my model length says I like this. I did take a look at maybe 4 or 5 home run shots before settling on Raleigh. So gonna look forward to that game against Houston and see what's popping. In general, I think Houston might be a sneaky good underdog team here in general, but nothing that I really want to put my money on. The money that the game really that I want to put my money on is going to be all the way over in Washington, Milwaukee. We have Jake Irving facing off against Chad Patrick, and I think we're going to have some negative regression incoming from Chad Patrick. We have 2 of the top 4 scoring teams in the entire MLB right now. Washington is averaging 5.92 runs per game, and Brewers are ranked 4th right behind them at 5.83 runs per game. So if we're just combining those two totals, I think we can get the over 8 at minus 115 over on MGM, which is where I took it. Irving is struggling. Nothing new here. He does do okay at times, but you're looking for at least 2 or 3 runs at the very low end on his floor, I would say. And then on the higher end, you're looking at him giving up 5, 6 runs, which is what he just did against the Dodgers. And to be fair, it is the Dodgers, but I don't expect him to really kind of have a better outing. The Brewers are not nobodies. They tax you. And if you're looking at Jake Irving's stuff, if he can't strike you out, he's going to struggle mightily. He has a 28.6% whiff rate paired with a 26.2% strikeout rate, and that's really great. But when you're combining that with a barrel rate of 18% and a hard hit rate at 57%, that's not going to do you any favors against the Brewers, who don't strike out all that often, make you work and get contact to push people around the bases. I would not be surprised if the Brewers scored 5 against him alone. And then you're going to take maybe the 4th or 5th worst bullpen in the entire league. I do have the numbers here exactly. Washington is tied for 26th. So bottom 5 bullpen in the entire league. And that's, again, no surprise. Last year, they were also bottom of the league. I want to say maybe bottom 2 or 3. So I like Milwaukee to score a lot of runs here at home. And then on the other side, I kind of was starting to mention Chad Patrick. He only gave up 1 run over 9.1 innings in his first 2 starts, which is great. But his barrel rate's at 14.3%, combined with a hard hit rate at 43%. And again, those are not numbers that are going to be doing him any services long term here. So I'm going to jump in on a very hot Nationals team to kind of get in on him. Patrick does not have the strikeouts or the whiff rates to really get out of trouble, and he is having some control problems, highlighted by his 10.3% walk rate. So I think that we're going to see runs here, and just something in terms of regression, which is something that I always like talking about: positive regression, negative regression. Both of these teams are higher scoring teams. Obviously, they're 3 and 4 in runs per game, but their bullpens also hasn't been necessarily as solid. Milwaukee obviously has a much better bullpen than Washington. But 4 of the last 5 games of Washington sailed over the 8 runs. 3 of the last 5 for Milwaukee. But something interesting, 2 of the last games for Milwaukee went under, and the last game for Washington went under as well. So getting that more, I guess I would say, positive run regression is something that I actually think will probably happen here. You have a controlled environment, so I'm not really worried about whether one way or the other. I really do think that both teams can hit. So yeah, give me the over 8 at minus 115 over on MGM. I really like this play a lot. Not going to do any of the unders. Not a lot of aces on the mound today. So the first 3 unders that I've really been having success with, I'm going to lay off. I'm just going to have this one play coming back. And then Saturday night, I will be looking for more plays also for today, if I can get that in. All right. In terms of other baseball games that are happening, there was a lot going along. A little bit of a shorter day yesterday. A game that I have my eye out on is the Marlins Detroit game. I think we can see runs here. Nothing I'm betting on, but Chris Paddock, if he can't really get his strikeouts in line against Detroit, I think he's going to be in for a long season. Keter Montero, never know what you're going to get, but Marlins have been feisty so far, so I'm going to be excited to see what he can bring to the table. A game that I was looking at an under for, maybe under first 3, maybe under for the full game, but Shota Imanaga versus Carmen Mlodensky, Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Cubs. I think that the Cubs are in a very non-hitting friendly stadium right now. I don't see a lot of runs overall. I think the wind's blowing in. It's just not great, and you're facing 2 pitchers. Really, Shota's whole thing is if the weather is blowing in and it's a non-hitting environment, he has a lot of pop-ups, which does help get outs quickly. So I think that he can move through a Pirates team that could maybe score 1 or 2, but not much more than that. And then Mlodensky is pretty solid on his own right. And I think that the Cubs may have trouble hitting him early. So something that I was looking at, again, not anything official. The real story for me is looking at how Luis Gil bounces back this season. He's going to be facing the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays are going to be in their new stadium here, so the Yankees do not even have home field advantage anymore. When they played the Rays last season, they essentially had the home field advantage playing in their spring training stadium. Gil was a candidate for Rookie of the Year when he was pitching the other year, and I mean his underlying metrics aren't great by any stretch of the imagination, but if he's able to get his breaking stuff working, I think that he has a possibility to kind of get back, but he needs that pitch arsenal to be able to really kind of move through batters, keeping them off balance. I don't know what we're going to see from him. I'm going to be very interested to watch out for him for the year. He's going to need to keep the ground ball rate up a little bit from last year. Last year was at 32%, which was just awful. It's not something that you could survive through the heat of the summer. But anyway, yeah, the really just the one play for me today, Ciccone versus Elder, Guardians Braves. That was an interesting one, but I don't really trust either of those teams. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the NHL and NBA. Well, I guess not the NHL. The NHL is having a break today. They're separating basically the home stretch until playoffs. We have a 15-game stretch starting Saturday tomorrow, and that's going to be really make it or break it for most of these teams. So the NHL is kind of getting into it. That's going to be a lot of fun. I was at the bar last night and I saw the Flyers get absolutely demolished at home. That was not fun for the people watching the game, but I do expect some teams to kind of button down the hatches and do what they need to do in order to make the playoffs and stop getting into these shootouts where they just are playing defense. Anyway, in the NBA, we have PrinceOfPicks, who thankfully gave us a play today. I really like this one. I played it for a full unit, which is usually I only play my stuff, and maybe someone like Sia Najad and Mike McClure plays for a full unit. But he's got the Atlanta Hawks money line parlayed with the LA Clippers plus 10.5 from the spread, and Magic Bulls over 221.5, which I guess is really just a throw in. The Magic Bulls, I mean, neither team I don't think plays very good defense, and I think we should see a higher scoring game overall. If the Magic are able to input anything into this game, this should sail over the. I think the over was 240 starting. So I do like that play as it's just a throw in. If I had to add another team to get the juice down, I guess I would just put in the Spurs money line to get it down 10-15 cents. But you can get this at minus 133 or minus 126 over on FanDuel. The Hawks are taking care of the Cavaliers, and I'm assuming this is a motivation spot. Hawks have been playing really well. I don't think the Cleveland needs to win anything today to really make it through. And then the Clippers should be able to win this game, but also should be very safe to keep this within double digits. I think that's a really smart play from our main man, Prince, who has kept the show running for this last week. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Sorry, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter show. If anybody wants to come in, you're more than welcome to request, and I'll bring you on and we can talk. I guess I could also just keep talking baseball for the next 10 minutes until we get up to the half-hour mark, and I can kind of get out of here while feeling we had a good show. Walker Buehler versus Tomoyuki Sugano. This is the Rockies visiting the Padres. We know that the Rockies generally struggle on the road, and this is probably a spot that I would highlight them to be struggling a lot. Walker Buehler, though, is not someone that I'm willing to trust just yet or ever. We'll see, I guess, how the season kind of turns out. But the Padres should have a nice game here. Sugano is going to get into trouble sooner or later. I'm wondering how long he can keep up this stretch without elite underlying metrics kind of keeping him afloat. Sorry, that just popped into my screen, so I just kind of wanted to talk about that for a minute because there's no one else here and I can kind of do what I want right now, unless you guys want to come in. In that case, I'm happy to talk to you about it, obviously. Another game here that I found interesting, Diamondbacks visiting the Phillies. I don't know what's going on with the Phillies lately. I think they just dropped 2 in a row. They're not been consistent. Their bullpen has been shaky, which I guess makes sense given their injuries, but Jesus Luzardo is on the mound. He was pretty solid last year. You kind of have to get him into a groove. His whiff to strikeout rate is unbelievable. Although I don't think the Diamondbacks strike out all that much, so that might cause him a little bit of trouble here. I would definitely lean his way over Michael Soroka, who's pitching for the Diamondbacks, who just doesn't look like he has it. But again, it's hard to trust the Philly bats right now. The Diamondbacks are doing really well right now. They're hitting the crap out of the ball. They won the 4 of their last 5. They just won a series against Atlanta. They won a series against the Mets. Not a team that I really want to mess with, especially considering that Phillies, again, they have not been hitting. They've only scored 8 runs in their last 5 games, 0 runs in their last 2 against San Francisco. But again, San Francisco, good bullpen. They can manage games as long as their starting pitchers kind of get past 5 innings. So I do like it. We're going to be looking forward to watching the slate, getting back into, again, the swing of things. Sorry for the double pun. If you're looking for a team that might have a good opportunity to bounce back, I might be looking at Cruz Bubik and the Buvich, and the Kansas City Royals. Royals are not hitting right now. White Sox are putting on a show for their fans, which I think might be just early season variance. Can't imagine them keeping it up for too long. So I would take a look at their bullpen, seeing when they get tired, and then fading them live. I did take the Royals last night, and they ended up losing 2-0. So not a great story for the Royals, but they are at home where they traditionally play a heck of a lot better than they do on the road. And we know that this Royals team can hit. So I think this is a good opportunity for him. 1 or 2 last games that I kind of wanted to mention: the Rangers, Dodgers. We have Glasnow on the mound. This Dodgers rotation is just vicious. It is hard to move through. I don't know what the rest of the league is going to do if they're all healthy all year. Rangers are starting Kumar Rocker. He has been interesting. Not someone that I think will have a ton of success against the Dodgers. Sorry, but the Dodgers can't be hitting every single day. I don't know how that's going to happen. I think that we could actually see a lower start to this game. He did all right. 6 hits, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs against the Reds. I guess that's not all right because it was the Reds and the Reds are not that great. But without a significant strikeout rate, that's really the Reds' biggest weakness. So I could see him doing well. He induces soft contact, and that's really the Dodgers' only weakness, I should say, only because they have so many strengths. Well, all right. I'll stop talking off your ears. Thank you guys for listening. Again, my home run sprinkle a day at plus 570 is Luke Raleigh. I think he has a really good opportunity. And then my overplay is just the over 8 in the Nationals Brewers minus 115. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to see runs throughout the game. So thank you guys for listening. Go like and subscribe on our Spotify, our YouTube, and Apple podcasts. We're everywhere you can find us. Give us a shout out, give us a rank and a listen. And yeah, have a great weekend. Hopefully, we'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye.